What's up, guys? My name is Daniel Agbaji. I'm a graduate student here at Emporia State University, where I'm running my dual major master's program in library and information science, and the other one in instructional design and technology. I heard you guys at Emporia Christian School, you're really smart, and I heard that this very lesson is going to be going out for the fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade of your classes. For this lesson, I'm going to teach you guys how to actually find the right information and to make an informed decision. To do this, I'm actually given a topic, and that topic of my lesson is Googling being smart while drinking coffee. Isn't that a nice mark? It looks good. I know you guys like drinking coffee. I do sometimes, but we're going to actually learn how we can find the right information with respect to drinking coffee, how we can actually use that information, evaluate it, and make an informed decision. So, I'm going to give you a simple formula that we're going to make use of. The first formula is the SEU. S standing for search, and the E for evaluation, then the U, use of the information that is being evaluated. What are we going to use? The tools I'm going to be using with you guys is the internet. And we're going to be using your computer with a network internet connection. And then we're going to go into different websites to authenticate the resources that we're actually searching for. And by that I mean evaluating those resources. And then we can now decide how we want to make use of that very information. And that is how you're going to act smart. See you guys in the lesson.
Hello guys, you're welcome to the actual tutorial. Well, this is not the practical aspect of it. This is more like an introduction to what we're going to be in class. It's kind of a way of trying to tell you ahead of time what we will be doing together when I come over to the school. Well, Emporia Christian School, you guys are really wonderful. I heard you guys are very smart, and I think this is not going to take you much time to get acquainted with. So, the title of the lesson is Googling Being Smart While Drinking Coffee. Well, this very title, it's more like a two-way thing, okay? You can either agree to the fact that one could become very smart when you drink coffee, or you can disagree to the fact that when you don't drink coffee, you're acting smart. Well, we're going to find out in this very tutorial by actually trying to search for information, and we're going to be evaluating that information, and we're going to be making an informed decision. First, let me tell you a little bit about what coffee is. Well, a lot of people do take coffee, but they don't have an adequate information to back up their facts why they actually take coffee or the reasons why they take coffee. Well, coffee is a soft drink and it's made from the coffee seed. Well, more like a peanut seed or something like that, a bean seed or something like that. And it contains caffeine. Caffeine is more like a chemical, that helps one to actually stay alert, mentally alert. And it's wonderful to some people because they actually, after drinking coffee, they don't sleep. Some people also feel sleepy after drinking coffee. Some people feel like, they are mentally alert. Some people feel like they are being drained mentally whenever they take coffee. It all depends on it. That is the reason why we want to know if being smart has something to do with drinking coffee, or maybe if you don't drink coffee, you're taking a smart decision. So for this very class, and when I come to the actual practical class, I want you guys to either choose um, either side of the group you're going to belong. If you are thinking about taking the option that you think, yeah, drinking coffee actually makes you smart, then you're going to be holding a yellow card when I come over to the class in that very group individually. And if you think you not drinking coffee is a smart decision to make, then you're going to hold a red card. And then at the end of the day, we are going to come up to think about the informed decisions we are making. So quickly, as I told you guys, we are using the SEU formula to actually look at the way we can verify or come up with a conclusion about this very topic. So we're going to be searching for various information resources that contains fact about coffee, why we should drink coffee or why we should not drink coffee, and if drinking coffee makes you smart or if not drinking it is a smart decision to make. Do you understand? Great. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Perfect. Now, in order for us to do this, I want you to know that to search online for relevant information resources has to do with two things. You have the open source information resource and you have the authoritative source information resource. And for this, I'm going to talk a little bit about the open source. Well, the open source refers to the information resources which are actually free and you don't pay for it, and everyone can actually have access to it. Example of this is the information that your search engine such as Google actually provides for you. Google is your search engine that you put your search terms inside whatever you want to search, and then it pops up. And you have some other open source like the open source journals where you don't pay for money but you get books for free. These are all open source kind of information that you can get. And then you have authoritative sources. Well, in this case, the information you're going to be getting there has to do with, you actually maybe getting a password and you might have to pay for it. It's not free to everyone. And some of the information might be authoritative. Some information resources that might be authoritative might also be free. But in most cases, you have to pay for them or subscribe to them, or your library has to actually subscribe to them, and then you can make use of it free. Example of this is the journal publications that are scholarly involved. So now when we are done with the information searching, practically we'll go over to the information evaluation. And in this place, we're going to be talking about the source of that very information that we have gotten. Perhaps maybe we went over to, let's say, Google search, and then we search for the term coffee. We want to know where that very information is located, which of the website talks about coffee in the way we actually prefer it to be, or the way that is very authentic. And then we want to also talk about the author of that very information. And then we look at the publisher as well. Which company actually published that very information? If it is just a company that anyone can actually come up with, or if it is an authentic registered body or organization that is well known. And that's what we're going to be thinking about when we are actually evaluating such information. After that, we look at informed decision. Now we have been able to search for the information we want to look for, and then we went over to evaluate the information by looking into the sources of the information, the author that actually came up or created the information, and then the publisher that actually made the information publicly known. And then here we're going to be talking about informed decision. Informed decision in this case is actually making use of the information based on the fact that it's original. So we're considering the originality of the information, and we're going to consider how factual it is. Originality in this case has to do with if the resource which could be video, PDF, or audio format, if it is not fake. Yeah, it should be original. For instance, when you go to Facebook, most of the postings on Facebook are not original. Some of them are actually fake. You hear a news that is actually not original. It is fake. Why? Because its source is actually not very authentic. And after that, we look at facts, how factual the information is. The information we have on ground, is it biased? Is it something that is indisputable? Is it something that is well known, something that everyone can actually agree with, something that has proofs, that one can actually relate with? That's what we're going to be considering when we talk about how factual the information is before we can actually make an informed decision. So, guys, having said that, before we finish the lesson together, I'm going to be looking into evaluating. We're going to be doing a practical work where we're going to evaluate the information resource that we're going to be searching together. So we're going to be doing that based on the author of that very information, the publisher, the source of that very information, so that we can make the right decision. And then let us do the actual searching. Now, in order to search for our information, we have to use search terms. Search terms are the words you use that you type on the search bar or into the database that you want to search for that very information for. Those are the words to use. So that's what we call search terms. And then you have sources to search for the right information. So you have to find or first come up with the different sources you need to search for the information. Like if you want to search on a website, or you want to go over to a library, a physical library, or you want to go over to a database, like a database well known like EBSCOhost, which contains a lot of scholarly materials in the field of education, or maybe you want to search in a kind of a social media or whatever you want to search for. And then later on, you want to look at the result. When you search, then we actually consider the result. So, guys, that's all we're going to be doing in the class when I come over, and I cannot wait to have a copy of coffee with every one of you as we get to know a little bit about coffee and using that to know how we can, search for right information, evaluate it, and make an informed decision in our everyday lives. So, thank you, guys. See you in class. Bye.